materials, starting off with Scott's Miracle Grow. I mean, since April, we have just been on a nasty, nasty decline of 100 points, which is crazy because if you look at the BlackRock video, we've dropped 100 points in in like a month. This has taken this basically majority of the year. Oh, I'm starting to kind of enjoy this, right? This is actually looking pretty decent, right? So on our negative, on our downward, right, we hit target of the 127. Now, if we had came up to this zero line and got rejected and dropped below the 140.99, I would say 129 would be next target. However, we made it all the way up to the 100. But then where did we then find, or like this is the zero line, this is the 100, you see what I'm saying? We made it all the way back up to here and breached it, right? Now, we got rejected, that's fine. But what's interesting is that we did not break the zero line of the 146.56. And we have been there, for 3 weeks now, 2-3 weeks. Now, at this point, I would imagine if it was more bearish, we would have at least attempted to go to the 140.99, but we're not, right? So this upcoming week, if we do not retest this 140.99 and we can kind of break above the 150 or even at least maintain the 146.56, then I know it's going to sound crazy, but I'm a buyer. Right, this is looking different than it's been looking for a majority of our downward trend. So I'm starting. This reminds me kind of Separatura or SRPT. So yeah, just keep that in mind. Scott's Miracle Grow could be back in our graces. Eco line, yeah. Like hard and fast, right? What was this? Yeah, we're still kind of struggling from our September. I mean, this was beautiful. But if you look, we are what? Making lower highs and lower lows. So unless we can like pop and just stop immediately, maybe let's draw a line. We're going to dash this just because we know it's not quite as much support as like the other ones. But if we can stop right around here or maybe go a little bit lower and come back up, as long as we don't breach here and we take out the 222 or 220, then the momentum is shifted to the upside and we would have taken out and made a higher low and a higher high. But until we do that, and we need to really see where do we stop. If we break this and go to the 207, then what happened? We're making lower lows instead of higher highs and higher lows. So keep that in mind. Just keep an eye on this. See what happens. Do we breach this or do we find some strength and continue higher? Landal Basal. Nah. It's not. It's a choppy one. It's choppy, but we did break out. As long as we stay above the 96.61, I am bullish. I would like to see us get above this 100, right? This 50% of the overall larger move. But in the short term, if we can stay above the 382 and the bottom line right here, then I am not really a buyer, but I'm intrigued. Now, if you wanted to be a gambling man and you wanted to have a little excess risk, then buying these levels right here would be all right. You have a well-defined exit strategy of the 96.61. So if it goes below here, get out. But it did kind of break above this week and a half, 2 week kind of cluster right here, and we are above it. So if we can hold it, then we know there's going to be a decent amount of support around this area. DuPont, yeah, that's about all I can really say with that one. All right, we are in and have been in a downtrend since basically June. Had a couple pops, but this is a beautiful downtrend. See how what brought us all the way down to here. Now, since the end of September, we have kind of shifted. We're starting to make a high. Look at this. We got a higher low. Look at that. Then a higher high. Then by looking at it like that, this is quite interesting. If you want to be aggressive, 70, 10. A lot's going to have to do with how the market. If the market rolls over, be careful, because your 70, 10 is not going to hold. But if the market doesn't crash and say LYB, and DuPont can hold the 70, 10, then look for a new high to a new low to a new high to a new higher low as the same way down. Looks like the shift in this has shifted a little bit with a higher low. 1, 2, 3. So keep that in mind. Dow Chemical, excuse me. We got earnings coming up pretty soon. Never mind, 21st, not important. Yeah. No, it looks terrible. We hit targets on the downside. We are even worse. Although we hit perfectly right here on September 21st. Wednesday we breached some support, but then kind of came back. There's no number on that because it's the line that we drew. I gotta give it a week. It looks choppy. BASF continues to fall. I mean, it just looks like a perfect, horrible storm. Rio de Janeiro, or really Rio Tinto, kind of like BASF, just looks like good night, garbage, terrible. Was doing great here early of the year, May, and since then we have just gapped ourselves to oblivion. Looks like we're holding this 50 though, so keep that in mind. On the downside, we hit target all the way. Just keep it in mind. This is Gap City. I wouldn't put my whole portfolio behind it, but again, it's Gap City. If you want to go to the casino, right here would be perfect for you. International paper. We're still kind of in that downward trend. Now, I do see us coming up to fill this 55.89 area, but just give it some time. This is not something that I'm jumping up and down for. Excuse me. Mosaic is beautiful. I enjoy it. We have broken out. It's done its thing. Let's probably come back down to 38.94, or depending on the market, if it has excess strength before it kind of drops, we could pop up to this 127. So if you're in it, be easy. 127, 42, 53. So in about another $1.50, you might want to be thinking about getting out, just because of how close we are to target. Just keep it in mind, but it looks good. Sherwin-Williams. Well, before Thursday and Friday, we were looking amazing, but look at what we did on Thursday. We basically popped at the 300. There's a lot of resistance, or support resistance right at 300. It's a whole number. It makes sense. I didn't think we were going to drop 11 points from that number. However, we did. Really based on this week. If the week and the market decides it wants to do something, I can see this popping or holding our support right here and trying to because this is only 2 days, right? So if we can recover this in like Monday, Tuesday and get up to the 300, then Wednesday, Thursday, try to take out this 310. Now the probability of that happening all in 1 week is slim to none, but just look at right here on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We did move 17 points last week, or the range was 17 points. So just keep that in mind. Range right here would be 20 points, basically to 310. So it's not like it can't happen. So just keep that in mind.